Hello everyone. Today we are going to see a few concepts in object oriented programming paradigm using C++. Um, we are going to focus more on how the data is handled in object oriented programming paradigm. So the data needs to be accessible and it needs to be protected from some unwanted use, and it needs to be organized for easy use and for easy implementation. So to make it accessible we have a concept, and to protect it or to hide it from unnecessary eyes we have a different concept, and to organize the data, because we are going to handle everything as an object in object oriented programming, so each object is going to have different kind of data, and it is difficult to handle those data when we handle things when we handle the concepts as objects. So the way we are going to organize data, that is also going to matter. So we are going to cover all this area with the following concepts. The first concept is abstraction. So abstraction is a concept of providing only essential information about the data and how it is ignored. Otherwise we are going to ignore everything else. Why we have to ignore everything else? Because these are the essential information that is enough for us to code or use the implemented function. So let's assume we are going to have different n number of data, and as a developer we will know the n number of data, how it is implemented, how it is declared. But as the successive developers comes into and sees your code, we can hide the implementation part, and we can hide the other information that is considered to be sensitive or unnecessary. If we have to, we don't the things that we don't have to share with other developers. So in this case, if you so the abstraction is also called data hiding or information hiding. It is a design way, it is a design term. So in abstraction we are going to design a program, we are going to design a program structure that can hide the information. How it is happening? So here let's see the class summation. It is having a three variables, and we are using the three variables here to add something, right? um, so when we in the main class we create an object called s, and when we want to access this s dot sum, that is here, we are just passing only 5 comma 4. So let's consider this class is developed by developer 1, and this implementation is going to developed by developer 2. The developer 2 doesn't have to know what is happening here or what is inside here. So if the developer 1 decides to hide some data or hides to hide the implementation things of this program, he can. And as a developer 2, let's assume this entire class is going to be saved in different file called file 1, and D2, the developer D2 will store this data in a file called F2. So the F2 file is only accessible to the developer 2. So the way we design this implementation of object oriented programming, we hide the whole class, and we gave only how it is need to be implemented, the the function name and the parameters that you are passing to the object name and the parameters you want. So here sum is the function name, and s is the object name, and 5 comma 4, this is a parameter name, I mean values, parameter values. So this is abstraction. So the next concept is encapsulation. So encapsulation is a wrapping up of data, and in other words it is binding together the data and functions. So in every class function you would have seen, right, we have a data part and we have a function part. So as this is data part, this is functions part. So both combines into a class. So a class which has a member variables, that is data part, and function points, that is methods, we combine them into a single entity or single module, that is called a class. So binding the member function and binding the member variable and the function, or wrapping the data with the functions, this is called encapsulation. So by default all the data is private, so private. All the functions by default, if you want you can declare few methods as a private, but by default we declare all the methods or functions as a public one. So by public, when you say public, it can be accessed by the other objects also. When you say private, it can be accessed only through the same object, only within the object. So this is the concept of encapsulation. So the same abstraction which talks from the design point of view, the encapsulation talks from the implementation point of view. And let's go for the next topic, access specifiers. So you see we protected this int a by telling it is private, and we set this set function as a public one so that other people can use. See, here we are using the set, so this one can access this set function, but this one cannot access this a because a is private. So when you want to access this a, you have to access through the function, and this will access a. So this is inside the class. When something is inside the class, anything can access the data within the class, but someone from outside cannot access the variable from the other objects or another class. Okay. So the next concept is access specifiers. It's a very simple implementation. So we have already seen what is private and what is public. The third term, the third new term is protected, which we will see in the next class when we talk about the polymorphism and inheritance. Okay. Thank you, friends.